So let's go through it. Yeah? Why would ZUBIMENDI, for his footballing career, want to reject Liverpool, who win trophies on a regular basis, who are also the second biggest club in this country? Man City, who have been the best team in world football for the past 4 years, okay, not so great this year. Real Madrid, in order to join Arsenal and Super Duper Mick, who win
Easy.
fuck all.
Easy.
Why? Go on, then.
Easy. You want the answer?
Yeah.
Relationships.
Relationships. Okay, cool. So, whilst I'm on this, Egal, are we now going to admit then, right? Because ZUBIMENDI's a 6, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So 2 summers ago, Arsenal spent £105 million on Declan Rice. What did we spend £105 million on Declan Rice to do? To come in and be the 6.
No.
So are we now admitting that £105 million for the purpose that we brought Declan Rice in for, which was to play the 6, hasn't actually worked out in our favour? Are we going to admit that?
Are you asking me a question that I can answer, or is it rhetorical?
No, it's a question.
Okay, the simple answer. Jorginho and Partey are leaving. We need to replace them. They're going ahead of they're getting ahead of a problem that would be arising in the summer by rectifying it now, by going and getting a player who's a deep line playmaker who can solve that issue. It's not about Declan Rice, Mikel Moreno, Odegaard. It's not about any about that. It's about making sure you have proper cover for players instead of waiting until the summer where you're fucked and you need to go and replace 2 midfielders.
Okay, right, cool. Now let's say the ZUBIMENDI thing's true, yeah? And that's not a bad answer, Miguel. You're right. We do have to replace Partey. We do have to replace Jorginho. Let's say this ZUBIMENDI thing is true. Arsenal are going to go and activate his release clause in the summer. He's going to join us. Is he going to convert one of them 26 shots we had against Man United? One of the 30 shots we had against Fulham? One of the 24 shots we had against Newcastle in the Cup? Is he going to convert one of the 20 chances that we had against Everton? No, he isn't. So, whilst Arsenal fans online think it's a good idea, oh, look at that, ZUBIMENDI in the summer, oh my God, you've just let the club off the fucking hook again. Because they're sat there laughing now, going, guess what? All it took was ZUBIMENDI in the summer and these guys are happy. When in reality, we need players right now and we need goal scorers right now. We have got Saka out injured for the remainder of the season. Gabriel Jesus has just done an ACL in his other knee. Yeah, his career is probably finished. That's 2 knees now that this guy is fucked on. But it's okay, guys. ZUBIMENDI's coming in. Best believe at some point, if ZUBIMENDI signs for Arsenal, at some point this manager will play him at fucking right back. Best believe. But I'm supposed to be happy. Okay, cool. Move on, Dan. Next person.
Egal, I might as well come to you as soon as you've got a different view on things. Then I'll come to Matty and Kelly because I kind of know where they sit. I was on the stream with you earlier. Big up to George on his for the North London Derby preview. We will get into that a little bit later. What do you make of this ZUBIMENDI thing, man? Like, I personally like this player. I think the signing would be good, but the reason I'm not going to get excited is because it doesn't help me now. Like, we need players in this window, right? And we need forwards in this window. As much as I think it's great to plan ahead, and I'm sure the club will be looking at that. Why are we not planning ahead at November, December time for this window, Egal? That's what I don't get.
Okay, there's probably definitely an element of we need some positivity amongst the club, and it's been a lot of negativity going on. Let's try to get the fans back on side and release some information that would make them happy. Because obviously they've been working on the ZUBIMENDI deal. They might have some agreements, and for Samuel McBell to say Arsenal landed midfielder at the end of the season, that must mean there's some guarantees or some confirmation in place. With Onstein and Fabrizio Romano, they're covering their backs, saying, "Oh, not saying as strong language as what Samuel McBell did." Now, I hear everybody. Yes, we still need to improve our attack. We still need to sign somebody this window if we can. We still need to see what we can do this window to further improve the attack. But in no way or form can you guys be upset at Arsenal going out and getting a quality player, improving the midfield, and start trying to scapegoat other players like Declan Rice, like Brendan almost did, or start trying to criticize the team for not having the priorities straight. They clearly do know that they're short on attackers. All the conversations that have been coming out from Arsenal for the last 24 hours since Jesus got injured is that they're going to try to go and get an attacker this window, be it going out and spending massive money on a Sesko or getting a guy like Vlahovic on loan, or even going to the extent of trying to go for Kolomowani, who looks like he's going to be headed to Juventus. So I
But
am
look,
not.
this is the issue, though, don't you think, though, Egal? Let me just, because you made a great point, right? In the last 24 hours, the club have started making noises about going to get an attacker.
Yeah.
Only since Gabriel Jesus has been injured has this football club made noises about going to get an attacker. So that tells me, and it tells everybody else here, that the football club never planned to do anything in this transfer window. They've been forced into doing so. But we all knew coming into this transfer window, yeah, that we needed an attacker anyway. Regardless of whether Jesus was injured, Saka was injured, it didn't matter. Arsenal needed another attacker anyway. So that tells me that it's only because of injury as to why we're looking to go and get an attacker now. It's not because we genuinely feel like we need one. Our manager has come out in a number of press conferences and said, I don't think we need a striker. So why is it again, Egal, that this football club is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until things go wrong and things go tits up before they make moves? Why is it that they're not proactive in the transfer window, right? There's only one transfer window that I can name that Arsenal were proactive in, and that was the transfer window we signed Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Aside from that, we're reactionary, bro. And you wonder why people get pissed off when we're hearing things like, oh, ZUBIMENDI in the summer. Who gives a shit about the summer? If we're being real and we're acting like a big club here, in truth, right? If things really do go wrong in the next 4 months, in truth, yeah, a big club sacks their manager if things go really wrong. So we shouldn't be planning ahead for shit like that anyway, really.
Okay, so you've just exposed your actual real reason why you're upset. You're upset
Why?
because no. You've just exposed your real reason why you're upset. You're upset that Arteta is already planning for next
This has
season.
nothing to do with
Yes,
Arteta.
it
When have
does.
I mentioned Arteta?
You just did. You just did. Now,
No.
Brendan, you've also said another thing that contradicts yourself within this little conversation in your soliloquy that you just had. You basically stated that why do you care about the summer, but at the same time you're criticizing the club for not being proactive. Well, surely them making getting a deal sorted for the summer is being proactive. So in one breath, you're making fun of them for not being proactive in the January, but then in the other breath, you're insulting them for being proactive in the
Yes,
summer.
but surely the
Why?
closest transfer window that is available to you, you should be proactive for that one, not looking forward to the next one. Because as I just pointed out, if things really go tits up, a big club should sack their fucking manager, mate. Yeah?
And
That's
you want
how
to
it
know
should
something?
be. And this isn't even a conversation
Arsenal
about
are not
Arteta.
going to
This
sack.
is about the club,
Arsenal are not going to
right?
sack
This is about
Arteta.
the club having you lot on fucking strings like normal. Oh, Zubimendi, let's all go tweet about Zubimendi.
Bro,
We need a striker,
One
my
second,
bro.
1 second, 1 second. If fans ran the club, some of you guys would have wanted Arteta sacked before we even got back into a
Too
ton of rain.
fucking right. He should have been sacked at Villarreal.
Yeah,
Let's
you
be
guys,
real.
you're moving mad though, because if you look at where we've gone from since that Villarreal's performance, you can see we've gone
Since
strength
the
to strength.
Villarreal performance, Egal, let me tell you this now. I have just watched Nottingham
1 second,
Forest. I have
bro.
no, shush a
1 second.
minute. I have just watched
Is it your
Nottingham
time to
Forest
speak,
with a
or
manager who hasn't had £700 million, hasn't got all his players, and they're playing better football than us, and they're also on the same fucking level amount of points as us in the league. They've won more games than us in the league this season as well. Our manager, phase 5, yeah, 5 years in the job, got all his players, spent all this money, and we're still making excuses for this guy. I'm hearing people saying, oh, well, he hasn't got the resources. Fuck off.
Okay,
Do
you
me a
want to know
favour.
something? Brendan, I get you're upset. I get your frustration. You think differently from me. But what you got to realize is Liverpool just dropped points today. Arsenal, yes, we can still go and strengthen this January window. It's not over. It's literally 14 days in. The Cronkies have had an emergency meeting, and the fact that injuries has riddled Arsenal over the last couple of weeks has been a major factor in why they've changed their stance on making signings. With Ethan and Jesus getting injured recently, plus Saka already being injured, Now they're going into the window to go and strengthen the team because of many different circumstances. One, probably wages. Two, probably they have a lot more of an urgency to do it now with the performances that they've seen as of late. And three, the manager is clearly putting more pressure on them to get some signings done with what he's been saying in the press conference. I know you're frustrated with the manager, you're frustrated with the team performances, but overall, it's not completely bad, because guess what? Some of these situations could lead to the right pressure to get stuff done. And if the right things get done this window, we could honestly still go on to win something. So I'm not sitting here losing my goddamn mind, going crazy, because the same people who are going crazy like you are right now, you read off the season the first time we dropped points. So I don't get why you're so upset. You written off the season 2 months ago, maybe.
Let me bring Matty in,
I
bro.
writ off the season, Egal, after I see the shambles of our summer transfer window, which is now biting us in the ass. Hence
Guess
why
what?
we're looking to go and get
Liverpool are
Zubimendi in the
top.
summer.
Brendan,
Because we didn't do enough in the
once again,
summer.
Brendan,
We
since you
never
like to
do
talk
enough,
over people,
right?
since you like to talk over people, listen to this. Liverpool, who have not signed a single player in the January or in the summer transfer window, are currently top of the Premier League and the Champions League. It's not necessarily
are.
always about signings. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's
they've
also
got a better
about,
manager.
sometimes
They've got a
sometimes
better
it's
manager, my
also,
friend.
1 second. Sometimes it's also about having the right players available for the right times. Liverpool have been relatively lucky with Mo Salah and Van Dijk, two of their best players not being injured, where Arsenal, who two of our best players, who are Odegaard and Saka, constantly being in and out of this side. Also, if you're going to talk about Arsenal's attack being poor, yes, the attack has been poor, but how on earth did Mikel Arteta get 100 goals from these guys, challenging to the final day of the season with Man City, who are notably one of the better attacks in the league? Liverpool already notably one of the better attacks in the league. So you guys need to have some perspective and look at what this man has been able to do with what he's had to his disposal. And you want to throw him out every opportunity you have a chance to throw the manager under the bus. And but at the same time, you want to hold the players accountable when you're mad after a game. Pick one, bro.
Hang on. Why should we be worried about one of our key attacking players being out? Yeah, when we got man
Because
like Kai
they're the
Havertz, we
needle
pay.
movers.
Hang on.
Here,
When we
1
got
second,
man
they're
like
the
Kai
needle
Havertz,
movers.
hang on. We pay him the big bucks. Yeah. What do we pay him the big bucks for? To score fucking goals. Yeah. This is a signing that you man got behind. You man went, oh, if Arteta wants him, I want him. This is why we're in the problem that we're in now, because every signing this football club makes, oh, if Arteta wants him, I want him. Yeah, this is
1 second.
why we are in the fucking mess we're in now.
You are actually so in your own world, you don't realize what's
How?
happening sometimes, because you
Okay,
genuinely
cool.
believe. You 1 second, stop. Let me respond. You genuinely believe at your heart of hearts that he did not want Alexander Isak. He just ended up saying, "Oh, I'm not going to sign him in that window." You think he's in his heart of hearts he's saying, "Oh, I don't want Sesko." You think he's going out of his way to protect the players because he genuinely doesn't want a striker? How delusional are you or disillusioned are you to think that we are this bad, that we don't want things to improve our team? We clearly want to improve our team. We've clearly spoken to strikers, left wingers, all these other things. And to sit here and constantly say he doesn't want it is a blatant lie, because the manager
know how transfers work, my friend?
is protecting his players. The manager is protecting his team from scrutiny. He's making sure that these guys still have their heads on straight, where you and other people who are heavily criticizing them, deservedly so, you can criticize them, are just berating them and saying, oh, well, he should say the truth. If he sits there and calls out the Cronkies, calls out every single player, you think we're going to get any performances from this team?
Egal, do you know how transfers work, my friend? Yeah?
You clearly don't.
Says,
so I can't get an education
the manager
from you.
says, hang on. The manager says, I want a striker, right? So they draw up a list, yeah? Top priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority. Work your way down the list, my friend, yeah? Nowhere on the list, on Arsenal's list, was Kai Havertz. That was this manager's decision to go and get him, right? We all know that. He come out and said that himself. So, when you spend £65 million on Havertz and pay him the big money, you expect results. Cool. Hang on. Having said all of that, yeah? Having said all of that, you just said about Isak. Isak went to fucking Newcastle for £63 million in the same summer. We
No, it
could
was
have
not
got
the
him.
same summer. It was a summer. It was the summer where Jesus went, and you keep doing this. You keep changing different signing, different windows, making up things to suit your narrative. Get your facts straight. He
not
did not
fluke.
go in the same summer as
Okay,
Havertz.
cool.
He went in the same summer as Jesus. Number one. Number two, Brendan. I get it. You're upset. Everyone's upset. Everyone's not happy. But sometimes you are pointing your finger and pointing at issues that clearly you just want to see things your way and you don't want to see the actual facts. Yes, Arteta got the best out of what he could do with Havertz and some of these players. I don't generally believe Arteta gets everything he wants, because if he gets everything he wants, he would have got Nico Williams in the summer. If he gets everything he wants, he would have probably got Benjamin Sesko in the summer. If he gets everything he wants, he would have probably got some better midfielders that we wanted when we were in the title run, when we were in the top 4 race, when we were trying to build the squad. There's been numerous times where Arsenal have wanted a player. Mikel Arteta probably wanted that player also, but we had to settle for something else. I do think there is a list of priorities, but there's also a list of players that they want to bring in this window. And if they can bring in a certain player to improve the squad, but it means they sacrifice another position, sometimes they might have to do that. And I don't think Arsenal have been going out and saying, let's give Mikel Arteta every single thing he wants. And I do think that there's been times where we've been shortchanged. You're telling me he was 100% happy with Raheem Sterling, or was that not a panic buy? You're sitting here and telling me Neto was 100% what we wanted, or was it a panic buy? You're telling me we went out there, the window where we signed Rice and Havertz, and you're telling me, oh yes, he's got Havertz for 65 million, but did we not go on and improve? Did we not go on and kick on and score the most goals, get the most points, get one kick away from winning the league? Don't make it out to be like, oh, one signing is what's derailed Arsenal. Kai Havertz is now becoming a scapegoat. He had 2 poor games back to back. Don't sit here and act like every single performance he's had has been terrible. And don't sit here and act like the manager. Don't sit here and act like the manager is not doing a really decent job with some of the players he has to disposal.